Hello everybody, this is Will with Retrofix Games, and today I am opening some Battle of Chaos. It's the new Yu-Gi-Oh set, just come out recently. I know we just had another Yu-Gi-Oh release, but that one got delayed, and then this one got delayed, so they're all kind of coming out all at the same time for us right here. But that's okay, because I'm just happy to crack it open and see what kind of stuff we can find in here. They've printed some Blue Eyes support pieces in here. What looks like some Dark Magician or Magician archetype support pieces in general. I personally am a Blue Eyes person, so I'm always happy to see new Blue Eyes pieces. Let's see if we can't find some more of the exciting Magicians pieces. Bam. Skilled Brown Magician. I don't actually know how well this synergizes with the Dark Magician's archetype. It seems interesting. Then Alice, Lady of Lament. Bam. And now going into this set initially, I've done a little bit of research, mostly looking at the Blue Eyes pieces. But I didn't know how much Dark Magician or Magician support was in this set. I also didn't know what the homeboy on the front of the box did. So, who knows? Maybe we'll pull one of those. I think he's called Lord of Chaos. See if we can't find one. Hey! It's a new printing of Dark Magician. That's interesting. I've never seen that artwork before. That's super cool. Okay. Dope. Well, if they did it for Dark Magician, maybe they did it for Blue Eyes. See if we can't find one in here. This is kind of cool. I like this. We'll set this aside. I know, growing up, I didn't feel like a true Yu-Gi-Oh collector until I had a Dark Magician. Preferably the one with the TV show art, but that's super cool. Bam, Nordic Smith Ivaldi. Yeah, if they did one for Dark Magician, I'm curious to see if they... Oh, you know what? That makes sense. The Lord of Chaos, I believe, is a fusion monster of the Dark Magician and what I imagine would be Buster Blader? I don't know. We'll have to open one and find out. Sweet. And of course, if we can open some Starlight Rare between these two boxes, that would be pretty cool. But yeah, this is super cool. I really like this set. It's a perfect time for me to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because this set supports two archetypes that I enjoy that are admittedly not the most competitive, but it is cool to see. It's a good time for me to get back into it and see familiar things in a card game that has changed a lot since I played. Bam. White Relic of Dogmatica. Sweet. So these packs are 9-card packs. There's one foil card in every pack, and then I still haven't quite nailed the ability to identify what the rares are, but it's nice to get a foil in every pack. These are pretty cool. In what is functionally the core set for Yu-Gi-Oh! Not the core set, a core set for Yu-Gi-Oh! Excuse me. Excuse me in my poor wording and misunderstanding of terms. Ooh, that's interesting. XYZ Dragon Cannon was another favorite of mine growing up. I just liked all of Kaiba's decks and all the things that he put together. I just always thought they were cool. Although, unpopular opinion, I think Kaiba looked better in the purple trench coat than in the white trench coat. But that's just my opinion. So, don't go starting any riots over it. course, that might be my cosplayer brain talking, because it's easier to get a hold of a purple trench coat than an all-white one with sharp and pointy shoulders, no sleeves, and all the extra. Oh, dope! What? I didn't know they did this. This is from the original series. One of the arcs is basically Joey, Yugi, and Kaiba all have like a spirit avatar dragon assigned to them to help beat the big bad. And this was one of them. I didn't know they made monster versions of them. I know they had spell card versions of them, but this is super cool. All kinds of nostalgia for me in this box. That's super rad. I don't know if this is actually going to be any good. I haven't taken the time to read it. Take some time afterwards when I'm done doing my cleanup to take a peek at what some of these cards do, but that's sweet. I've only looked at the Blue Eyes pieces from the set to help my own strategy out. I didn't take enough time to look at what the set might be doing for other people's decks. Which admittedly is a pretty significant flaw to have if you want to get better at a card game, so I'm gonna have to start doing some more research on that. But sweet! That's super cool. And like, this art style on the box itself is very reminiscent of the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. So I was just jonesing to open it to see that. But the extra little nostalgia bits in here, that's super nice. Might become my main card game now. Master of Chaos, there he is. Blackluster Soldier, okay. Oh, it's Chaos or Blackluster Soldier. That's really rad. I mean, yeah, you can kind of tell just by looking at him. That's sweet. The namesake? Yeah, we'll call him the namesake of the set. Add him to the pile of cards that I like, because they remind me of, well, playing this game as a kid. And it's cool how much that it's evolved and how many different things they've decided to do with this game. I haven't really kept up on the show at all, so I don't know if the show's still any good. But it's nice that this game hasn't stagnated, really. And that they're okay with callbacks and calling back to these old sets and these old shows and giving them a bit of new life. Our Dark Magician Karibo. You know what? You can hang out with your other friends over here. You've earned it. Scoot that box over so you can all hang out together. Well, sweet. I'm pretty happy with this first box so far. I just like seeing the fancy callback cards. The Zombie Vampire. So I've made a mistake before in identifying this foiling job as being the Starlight Rare foils. It is not. If it was a Starlight Rare, the foil would go all across the card. It's like those collector rares from the Grand Creators. The foil would be all over it. But this is still a super cool card. I still really like the foiling. Correct my error now before I get anybody too excited. They open their own packs and find a card that they think is a super fancy rare, but it's just the regular foiling of that card. Not that this isn't an exciting card. Another Magic Karibo. Alright, only one of you get to hang out up there. So says I, your lord, Will. The guy who makes up arbitrary rules for how to sort cards. Ultimate Fusion. Okay, this is one of those Blue Eyes support pieces. That's super cool. And I think I've mentioned, I like how the swirly bits in the Fusion itself are Blue Eyes. And it's also got a blue foiling to it. That's super cool. That's our first Blue Eyes support card so far out of this box. Which is fair. We've gotten some other cool stuff, so not too upset about that. Nordic Relic. Ridiculously difficult pronounceable name. Bam. Alright, 2 packs left in this box. Let's see what we got. Libromancer Magic Girl. Okay. Last pack. Let's see if there's a random Dark Magician in this one too. Bam. Dark Dimension Soldier. I like the cyberpunk aesthetic that a lot of the synchro monsters take on. I think that probably has to do a lot with the show itself that they came from. They came from the 5Ds series. And that was definitely a like futuristic cyberpunky kind of vibe. I'll set these just in view of camera here because I like them. That's super cool. All right. On to the next box. Will there be more magicians? Will there be more dragons? Maybe there'll be nothing but Karibos. Let's find out. And that would be such a Karibo thing, too, if it's just loaded with them. Hi-ah. Let's see here. White Relic of Dogmatica. I think that's an archetype. Dogmatica sounds familiar. Bam, bam. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a new archetype, but it feels like an older archetype that's getting support. Let's see here. Vampire Fascinator. I definitely want to learn how these monsters work a bit more, because these are super cool, I think. Could be an interesting concept. I like that it plays with the location of other cards on your playing field. There's not a whole lot of other card games that would play with something like that, so it's interesting. Libromancer Magic Girl. And a big angry Thunder God. Yeah, I tend to focus on the foils in these packs, which might be incorrect, but the foils are shiny, and it's cool to look at shiny things. Bam. I like that. That's got a cool aesthetic to it. Bam, bam. I mean, they make the packs shiny. Why wouldn't I focus on the shiny things that come in them? Let's see. Whoop, dropped a card. Libromancer, Firestarter. Yeah, this is something I really like that they've got like the comic book style sound effect font in here. That's super cool and fun. I like that extra touch to it. Hooah! Gives you old Adam West Batman vibes. This guy. I think the first time I saw this card, I thought this was an XYZ, like, dragon type of monster. It is not, but it is a big, giant robo-dino, which is also acceptable. Bam. Magic Karibo! Alright, now all the rest of the packs in the box gotta be Magic Karibos. Every one of them. An army of Magic Karibos. Although we do have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Standard playset now. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Plays with 3 copies of any one card, with obviously some restrictions and bans. Whereas Magic, and I think a couple of other card games, play with 4 ofs. as their playset size. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Also runs smaller decks on average, so 4 copies of a card might be kind of pushing it for a lot of... That's another Blue Eyes piece. But that would be pushing it, because I believe the minimum is a 40-card deck for Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you could have 4 copies of any one card in your deck, you just run, like, 4x10 of whatever the best cards are that you can get a hold of. But I also think that lends a certain consistency to the average game of Yu-Gi-Oh! that can be fun. I like some consistency in some aspects of my games. Having something that I can reliably get to is cool. Like, if I'm playing a deck that wants to summon a bunch of Blue Eyes White Dragons, I want to reliably be able to do that. And having a 40-card deck lends itself nicely to being able to do that. That's interesting. I haven't seen one of these yet. Bam. Also, it's just easier to build because it is 40 cards as compared to a normal Magic deck is 60 cards. You don't have to track down as many cards and as many pieces of synergy. Bam. I haven't been into new Yu-Gi-Oh! For long enough to know this to be true, but I imagine in a 40-card format, it's easier to give certain archetypes a big boost just by printing 1 or 2 cards, because you play a playset of those 1 or 2 cards, and in a 40-card deck, it could make a huge difference on how it performs for you. But I could be wrong. That just seems like simple maths to me that would make sense. But then again, not everything in the world makes sense, and not everything in the world has to. Come on. There we go. They're not giving me a whole lot of guff, but every now and again, 1 or 2 of these packs will feel like it's been super glued together. I think we've got about half a box left to go here. So let's see if we can't speed through. I would be excited to see one of the Blue Eyes monsters. There's a new Blue Eyes fusion monster in here. Ooh, there we go. That's pretty rad. But there's a new Blue Eyes fusion monster in the set, and there's a new Blue Eyes effect monster in the set. I'd be pretty happy to see either of those in this box. Bam. Play test with some of them and see which ones stick around in my deck. So I finally got the physical version of the deck that I've been playing on the Master Duel. Another vampire zombie, or zombie vampire. A zampire, if you will. But yeah, I finally got my physical copy of the deck that I've been playing on Master Duel. Super excited about it. Been playing a few games with my roommates. Now I'm excited to upgrade it. And maybe one day, when the world is a little bit safer, take it to an event and get absolutely wrecked. But it'll be great. Let's see what we got here. White Relic of Dogmatica. I swear this is an archetype. I swear these have been a thing before. And that's not just because I've seen other ones in this set. Bam. Alright. S-Force. Retroactive. Alright, we've got 2 packs left. Give me a Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Let's go. Whoop. Nope. Just this big angry guy sitting in a throne. Bam. Last pack. Let's do it. Give me the blue eyes. There we go. It's not a jet dragon, but it is a tyrant dragon. Sweet. I don't know if it'll stick around in my deck, but I'm definitely gonna play test with a couple copies of this in my extra deck. Well, sweet. That's pretty cool. I'm happy with these. We got to see some nostalgia here with this Dark Magician. And we got to appease my constant need for Blue Eyes cards. Sweet. Well, a quick reminder to you all of our singles will be listed up on our website at retrofixgames.com. You can come to the physical store if you want. For all of our Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, you'll have to put in an order on our kiosk, and then we'll pull it in store for you. But yeah, if you want to get your hands on this sick Dark Magician, that's the place to check it out. Alrighty, thank you all. Have a good night.